I've been with my wife for 8 years. We have 2 children, a 5-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son. I've known since my wife got pregnant that there was a possibility our daughter wasn't my biological child. I don't care. She's my daughter and my wife has never been unfaithful. However, I don't want to know if she is or she isn't biologically related to me, and I've never wanted to know. My wife and I were together for around 2 years when we had a fight and broke up. We were broken up for 3 months, during which we both slept with other people, and then we got back together. After approx 2 months of being back together, my wife found out she was pregnant. We knew there was a possibility of one other man being the biological father, and it was a toss-up between me and him, but it was more likely to be mine. My wife was honest with me that she'd slept with other people when we got back together, and I was equally honest, and the window of conception for our daughter was just large enough. We couldn't say for sure if she was conceived when we were together or apart, and while she offered to get our daughter tested, I didn't want to know. My entire family were aware we broke up and got back together. Visibly, she looks like her mother. Same dark hair, same dimples, same bone structure, and I see bits of myself in her, too, mainly in her mannerisms, with the only part that doesn't match up being her eyes, which are brown, while mine are green and my wife's are blue. Meanwhile my son, with his green eyes, blonde hair and bone structure, looks like I cloned myself and looks very different to his dark-haired, dark-eyed sister. My mother has noticed and remarks on it often. This really gets my wife's hackles up, both because of the reality behind that, which my mother is unaware of, and because she and my mother have clashed a few times in the past. They are very different people, and their personalities just don't mix. Then a few months ago my wife's sister and my best friend, they're married, got into a car accident. They were in the hospital with one of their 3 kids, while the other 2 were home alone, so we asked my mother to watch our kids, while we helped them out. Our kids were with her and my dad for about 5 hours. Last week Mum came over and said she had something important to tell me. When she had my daughter unsupervised, she did one of those DNA test kits on my daughter, comparing it to her own DNA, which she apparently ordered months ago for this exact purpose, and was waiting to use it, and it confirmed my daughter isn't biologically related to me, and she began to tell me about a lawyer she could get me in touch with to begin divorce proceedings. I told her this changes nothing, she's still my daughter, and that's my wife she's talking about. Mum was shocked and called my wife some names I don't care to repeat. I told her to get out of my house. It's been nearly a week. I've told my wife, blocked my mother on everything, and there's been constant calls and texts. My mother is furious I never told her that I had an inkling and has since disowned my daughter, but says my son is still her special little guy, so she wants a relationship with my son, but not my daughter. In addition to my mother, all 5 of my siblings, 3 sisters, 2 brothers, and dad are angry with me. They want me to get back in touch, and a couple of them have even said I should thank Mum for what she did as she was looking out for me, and now I know. However, I can't justify my mother going behind my back to get a DNA test on my daughter without consulting me. I feel I'm in the right, but I also feel I could be overreacting, and I would appreciate another perspective as I'm seriously considering cutting contact with my mother over this. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Blood isn't family. You have accepted her and treated her as your own. Hopefully your parents and siblings will realize this if you cut her out. Your mother crossed some serious boundaries. Whatever past happened is you and your wife's business. She is your daughter, whether blood related or not, and quite frankly is none of your mother's concern. Your mother is in the wrong to challenge it. Not the idiot. What an amazing father you sound like. What your mother did was inappropriate, immoral and unacceptable, and you have dealt with this very clearly and supported your family. They are very lucky to have you and I wish you lots of happiness. This was your choice and had nothing to do with your mother. She did this solely to hurt your wife. If you allow your mother to have a relationship with your son while not having one with your daughter, you'd be a terrible father. Blood doesn't make a father. My daughter, 28, has gotten into DPS and fostering. She has had her own child biologically but now plans to foster and adopt children. She has been fostering this 8-month-old for a month now, and it's been a week-by-week process with the judge and bio family while they sort out their lives or issues that causes them to lose custody. Although it appears they don't care, aren't showing up to court or meetings, failing exams, etc. So who knows where that will go. my daughter hopes to keep foster child. I am planning our first professional family photo in decades and am buying customized matching shirts. When I asked to confirm the size of bio child, she asked me about foster child. I told her I didn't think to include her because she's foster and therefore may be temporary and it may be weird to have her in a family photo. She said all grandchildren should be included. My thought process is, she isn't really her kid and therefore really isn't my grandchild. That would change if she were adopted, but she isn't yet. She went off on me and hung up and I am sitting here feeling horrible. I did not mean I do not care for the child, she's wonderful, but I thought I had a clear thought process. Am I the idiot? You're the idiot. For sure. Isn't a family photo supposed to be a literal snapshot of a time in the life of your family? Your thought process is not clear and the customized matching shirts are further evidence of this. Don't be surprised if your daughter boycotts the session. You're the idiot. She isn't really her kid and therefore really isn't my grandchild. Do you realize how emotionally damaging that is to foster children? I recognize this is an 8-month-old, but imagine the foster kid finds the photo when they are 12 and wonders why they are not in the photo and your daughter has to explain that you don't consider her real family. You're the idiot. There's a really simple solution to this problem, take one picture with and one without. Even if a foster child is temporary, they're still temporarily part of the family. Family isn't just who we are related to, and if you're not careful you could easily lose your daughter as part of your family with that attitude. You're the idiot. It may be temporary, but for right now that child is just as much family as her bio kid. My girlfriend, 30, and I, 36, have 100% custody of my 5-year-old daughter. My daughter's biological mother moved out of state to pursue a career opportunity. A little background, my ex-wife left me over 2 years ago for someone else and hasn't been much of a mother since. My current girlfriend has effectively raised my daughter with me for a little over a year and has done a tremendous job as a stepmother. My ex-wife moved just a couple of weeks ago and now my girlfriend and I have 100% custody. As a parting gift, my ex made a scrapbook for my daughter with pictures of my daughter and her mother, and lastly, my daughter, my ex and myself. There were 2 pictures total that included the 3 of us. I noticed my girlfriend tearing something apart and my daughter telling her to stop. She worked so hard on that. Not knowing what was going on, I stepped over to see what the commotion was all about. This was the first time I had seen or heard of the scrapbook and was unaware of its contents until I witnessed my girlfriend removing all of the pictures that displayed my ex-wife. She was even throwing away pictures that didn't include me and were of my daughter and her mother only. I abruptly put an end to the destruction and have been on non-speaking terms with my girlfriend since the event. 8 hours ago. I have tried to explain that I don't want the pictures for myself and have even stored them in the garage in a box that I keep with all of my daughter's report cards and neat school projects and art. However, my girlfriend thinks we should destroy all evidence of my ex, even though her current leave of absence is not guaranteed to be permanent. She was raised similarly, and I asked her how she would feel if her stepmother threw away all pictures of her biological mother just because she moved. She agreed that she would be upset, but argued that it doesn't matter now that she is the one raising my daughter. I'm so lost as to why she thinks this is okay. It's like jealousy and ego have gotten the beat of her, and her true self has disappeared. I'm so dumbfounded by it that I'm not certain that I'm not seeing this clearly. Am I missing something? Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, that little girl deserves memories of her birth mother. Your girlfriend is being petty. If you keep this girlfriend in your daughter's life, she'll 100% end up hating her, which she probably already does. Your girlfriend sounds like a psychopath. Are you sure you want someone like that influencing your daughter? Your ex might have shit the bed, but she's still your daughter's mother, and your current love interest trying to destroy that is a serious sign that she's not mentally healthy. She seriously tore up your daughter's pictures in a fit of jealousy right in front of her. How old is this woman? At the very least it's extremely immature, but really it borders on psychotic. Your girlfriend is the idiot for destroying a child's keepsake scrapbook of their mother, regardless of how out of the picture she is. Your daughter clearly didn't want this to happen. Not the idiot, but also, you're the idiot if you don't dump her. I'm sorry, this is a story about your ex-girlfriend, right? Who the hell does that to a little girl's memories of her mother? That shit is sacred and you had best pick your daughter's side and dump that stupid idiot. I can't believe some women are that insecure and it bothers the hell out of me. Background. My wife and I married when her son was 8. She shared 50-50 custody with the father, which was fine. I have a daughter from my late wife and his mother, and I have a daughter of our own. I've always treated them equally when he's here and made sure he felt included as much as possible. When he was 12, he decided to live with us permanently. He said that after his second brother was born, they pretty much ignored him. His father stopped doing things with him and neglected him when he was there. It was bad, especially cause his stepmom was verbally abusive. Since he started living with us at 12, I tried my best to bond with him. I'd play video games with him, be there for his basketball games, teach him how to repair things around the house. Basically be a dad till he eventually called me dad. I didn't bother correcting him cause I definitely saw him as my own son and my wife thought it was cute too. My son only saw his bio dad when the guy actually asked to see him, which was like 2-3 times a year at best. He just turned 16 about a week ago and for his birthday I got him his first car. At that point his dad was pretty much a deadbeat. I gave him $15K to pick out whatever he wanted cause I did the same a few years ago when my daughter turned 16. He got his car and posted a picture of the two of us with his new Honda with the caption, "The best birthday gift from the best dad I could ask for. Thanks for being there when I needed you most." Not gonna lie, I cried a bit when I saw it. Not long after, my wife and I for a series of angry phone calls and messages from his bio dad, accusing us of alienating him from his son and how I took away the experience of getting his kid his first car. Which was funny cause the guy was collecting unemployment. I asked him why he called me angrily instead of calling his son for his birthday and I hung up. Since then my wife and I have been getting tons of calls and messages from him and his wife. Thankfully they didn't take it to social media so my son doesn't know about it. I talked to my buddies and they're split. Most of them said I was doing right by stepping up, but some said that I shouldn't have gotten too close to him. So what do you think? Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, you may not be his father, but you're his dad. In the great words of Yondu. He might have been your father, boy, but he was never your daddy. You're most definitely not the idiot. You are a fantastic person for being so supportive of your stepson. The only person the bio dad should be angry with is himself. Wait. Your friends seriously said you shouldn't have gotten close to your own kid. What kind of fucked up priorities do they have? You seem to be a great dad, but you may need higher caliber buddies. As your son said you were there for him when he needed you most and the fact that he feels comfortable with calling you dad shows you are doing a wonderful job. Don't let his bio dad get to you. He's feeling salty because your son realized what a crap job he's done and he's probably feeling a little shamed that he's been shown up. Keep nurturing the relationship you have with your son and be happy in the knowledge that you're doing the right thing. You are teaching him that being a good dad is much more than just a biological bond, it's a choice.